Alrighty, so this past year, my mom decided to give me a box of truffles. And so I figured, hey, why not make a video of me trying the truffles my mom was kind enough to give me for Christmas? And so as such, well, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing today. And as a whole, I am looking forward to trying one of each of the 2 different flavors inside this box. And I am looking forward to finding out just how these truffles are, what they're like, whether I like them or not. And I'm looking forward to, as well, eating a truffle for the first time in a couple years. That's right, it's been a long time since the last time I ate a truffle. And so as such, well, I am especially excited for this video today. Shout out to my mom for having been kind enough to give me a box of truffles for Christmas. I really was not expecting it. Fantastic gift if I do say so myself. Shout out my mom. Shout out my mom, yo. That's what I'm saying. But I do suppose before I go ahead and get the box all opened up, and before I go ahead and actually get to eating the truffles my mom was kind enough to gift me for Christmas, I should probably cover where these truffles are actually from. So where did my mom buy these truffles? Well, she bought them from a local chocolate shop in Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina, I want to say, at least. In specific, these were bought from Farrah Wynn's Chocolate Cafe. On the other side, it says Farrah Wynn's Artisan Chocolate right there. Seems like a little bit more of a chocolate shop than not, I will readily acknowledge. And the truffles inside this box right here are amaretto and peanut butter chocolate flavored truffles, from what I know at least. I've never had amaretto before, so I'm very curious to try the amaretto flavored ones, and I really like chocolate and peanut butter, and so as such, I'm thinking I'm gonna definitely like those. Can't say anything for sure about the amaretto ones, but I'm excited to try them nonetheless. These are gluten-free truffles. They're also dairy-free. Now, the Farrah Wynn's chocolate shop, they also do make truffles with dairy in them. However, these are the dairy-free ones from what I know at least, and they're also gluten-free as said, so I can eat them, no issue at all. But I do suppose, without further ado, I should probably go ahead and actually get this box all opened up, and I suppose I should probably, well, actually get to eating one or 2 of the truffles my mom was kind enough to give me for Christmas. I think first off, I want to grab myself a little bit of a screenshot before I open up this box, though, so let's do that real quick. Well, hopefully, excuse me, wow, I just had a little bit of a burp there. Well, now that I've grabbed myself a little bit of a screenshot, I do suppose I should probably go ahead and get this box all opened up now, shouldn't I? What's the best way to open it up? Probably cut the tape, the sticker right there if I had to hazard a guess. So let's go and get my knife. I've got my Kershaw Scallion with me today, my 1620 FL. Let's just go ahead and just cut the paper just like that on each side. Make sure I don't cut towards myself. Of course, that's dangerous to do. Don't cut towards yourself, guys. Don't do that. I'm definitely not cutting towards myself right now. Nope, would not do that. That's dangerous. Cutting towards yourself, dangerous. I would never do that. No way would I ever do that. And I'm definitely not doing that right now. 100% not. Let's go ahead and get that all opened up just like that. Certainly no complaints on my behalf. And let's just go and smell this real quick. Ooh, smells very nice if I do say so myself. Let me go ahead and just wipe my nose real quick. It is a little bit chilly out here, so my nose is running just a little bit. But let's go ahead and give these a nice whiff real quick. Ooh, these smell really good. These smell really good. Very chocolatey. There's definitely a little bit of peanut butter in there as well. Much sweeter of a smell than not, too. Ooh, yeah. That smells really good. It almost smells like Bob's Chocolate Flake by Samuel Goth, or maybe the Lane Limited BLWB, more like the Bob's Chocolate Flake in my opinion. And that is a that is a product I like much more so than not. So I'm thinking I'm probably gonna like this a decent amount. I'm probably gonna like these. Well, I'm not sure which one is which though, I'll acknowledge. So we can see, just taking a look at them, that this one has a sort of design on it. It's not like a paper on top of it. I think you can't actually eat that. But this is just like a little bit of a square right there, and I'm just trying to hold it in a way where it doesn't all fall out. This is just like a little bit of a square right there, and then these are lips right here. I'm thinking the lips are probably the amaretto, with the square being the peanut butter. If I had to hazard a guess, not exactly sure though. But let's go ahead and get one of the lips out real quick. And I'm pretty sure this is the amaretto one, so I think I'm gonna give these a go first, see how they are. And let's just go ahead and smell this one individually. Let me get one of the peanut butter ones out as well. They do definitely smell a little bit different. But since I've never drank amaretto before, I've never had amaretto, I can't say which one is which. I'd have to say this one smells a little bit more chocolatey and a little bit more syrupy, but it also kind of smells kind of peanutty. I want to say this one. I still want to say this one is probably the peanut butter. I'm not sure, but overall, these smell fantastic. They smell like I'm going to like them. I think without further ado, y'all, it's time for me to go ahead and take a bite of what I think is the amaretto truffle my mom was kind enough to give me. And let's find out just how this truffle actually is, what I think of it, and whether it's good or not. I assume it's going to be good. My mom tends to not buy food if it's not good, so I have much higher expectations for this than not. Without further ado, let's go ahead and take a bite. Yes, sir, and I'm saying. This was the peanut butter one, actually. Not the amaretto one. I was wrong. But, that is really good. Yeah, I guess this one does smell kind of more peanutty, so it really shouldn't be a terribly big surprise that this is the peanut butter one in all honesty. But, yeah, this is really good. Really nice, sort of chocolatey flavor. A little bit of creaminess, a little bit of milkiness. This is dairy-free, so no dairy milk, I guess, but there's still a little bit of milkiness, a little bit of creaminess coming from both the chocolate and the peanut butter, in my opinion. And it's not too sweet. It's very much got that of a sort of dark chocolate undertone and aftertaste in your mouth as well. The sides, as we can see, are very thin, and the center is just filled with peanut butter. So I'd have to say that the peanut butter is definitely kind of the main flavor, with an undertone of chocolate, rather than with something like, let's say, a Reese's cup, where at times the chocolate can definitely be the dominant flavor. I'd have to say with this, the dominant flavor is overall very much the peanut butter. But it's very much out of a much sweeter than not, creamy peanut butter sort of flavor, with an undertone of a little bit of like bakery goods in the peanut butter itself, almost like a peanut butter cookie. And then under that, there is a sort of milky, creamy, dark chocolate, which is really, really, really nice as a whole. Yeah. Wow. That's good. I don't want to ask how much this box cost, though, so I have no idea what these cost. I feel like that would be rude to ask. I'm not going to ask. Never good to ask what the price for Christmas gifts was, even if I am making a video about them. But that was probably, if I had to guess, like a $2 piece of chocolate right there, if not slightly more. Could be wrong. But yeah, that's good. That's really nice. I really like that. That was really, really, really nice, if I do say so myself. Absolutely fantastic. The peanut butter itself, not too dry by any means. Very much, still very moist. I'll acknowledge, on the bottom of the box, it says, best before, like, 10 days after you buy it. I think, if I remember correctly, my mom said she bought it a couple days before Christmas. It's now a month after Christmas, around about. I forgot to eat these for quite some time. They're still perfectly fine, though. They still taste great. I was a little bit afraid that the peanut butter might be a little bit dry. Like, I've had some, not Reese's cups, but in specific Justin's cups, like the Justin's peanut butter cups, which are a gluten and dairy-free alternative to Reese's cups, which are normally fantastic, but I've had sometimes where it's just so obvious that either something went wrong in the production or they've been sitting on the shelf for like a year. Because I open it up, I eat it, and the peanut butter itself is dry as hell, and it just dries out your entire mouth. It still tastes good, but it just dries out your entire mouth, and it just makes the experience entirely worse. I was a little bit afraid that might happen in this scenario. Thankfully not, though. Thankfully not. Thankfully I did not wait that long. But overall, I gotta admit, the peanut butter ones, fantastic. Really, really, really good. Looking forward to trying the amaretto one as well. As I said, never drank amaretto before, so I have no idea what it's gonna be like. I love my peanut butter and chocolate, so I was kind of expecting to enjoy the peanut butter and chocolate one, and I did. But I don't know about the amaretto one, and that's honestly the one I'm a little bit nervous about. I gotta get myself a little bit of palate refresher real quick, though, so let's do that. Still got a little bit of chocolate aftertaste in my mouth, but the intricacies have mainly gone away, and the aftertaste has mainly gone away. It's just kind of the back of my throat now. So I think that's good enough for a palate refresher. But that was really good. It was honestly a bit sweeter than I was really expecting. Not like super sweet by any means. Definitely less sweet than, like, let's say a Hershey's chocolate bar. But I just don't really eat a lot of like sweet food besides baked goods these days. Especially when it comes to candy. I'm really just not eating a lot of candy. If I know someone and they have candy on hand and they offer me a piece of candy, you know, I might take it, depending on the candy. But a lot of times these days, I'm not really eating candy. So even though I don't really feel like these are like super sweet compared to a lot of normal store-bought like chocolate or candy, it is still a little bit sweet for me, I'll admit. But, excuse me. I do suppose, without further ado, it is now time for me to go ahead and try the amaretto truffle as well. Will I be able to get drunk off of an amaretto truffle? Probably not, no, but let's find out, y'all. This one looks pretty nice. Smells pretty nice. It's still got a little bit of a nutty scent to it, but nothing too much by any means. We can see it's just a very nice sort of cube, sort of pyramid-like look, and then it's got this sort of design up top. Not exactly sure what that's meant to be, but looks pretty good. And oh wow, one thing I noticed, it's actually slanted on the sides, on some of the sides. So yeah, it really does look like a sort of like a Mayan pyramid or an Aztec pyramid or something like that kind of thing. Very cool. Very, very, very cool. Well, let's go and take a bite of this and find out just how an amaretto truffle is for the first time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Now, I was kind of expecting sort of like a gel that was made from the amaretto itself, but no, this appears to be like peanut butter infused amaretto, which is very interesting. It is not at all what I was expecting. The flavor itself, I am going to give myself a minute for this one. I'm not going to eat it nearly as fast as I ate the last one. Wow. That's... You know, I've never really had, like, alcohol-infused chocolate before, or alcohol-infused truffles before, so I didn't really know what to expect. But it literally tastes like chocolate-infused alcohol. Not rough. But it really does just taste like chocolate-infused, or like chocolate and peanut butter-infused alcohol. That's kind of what it tastes like. So amaretto is, I'm trying to remember. I've never drank it before. I need to. I've heard good things about amaretto on its own. I've heard good things about amaretto and Cokes. I need to try amaretto. I haven't really been able to find any in my local area, though, quite yet. I know it's pretty common in, like, let's say Italy and Germany, I want to say, and some other countries in Europe. It's just not super common in my local area. I don't think there's any local companies that make it, so it'd have to be imported directly from Europe more than likely. Yeah, very interesting. I'm getting very much that of a, man, it's sort of that of a, it's not cherry. How would one describe the taste of amaretto? Because I've never had it before, so I have no idea what it's really like. There's definitely an alcohol-y tinge in there, for sure. There's absolutely an alcohol-y tinge in there. And it's, the amaretto is sort of, it's sweeter than not, yet that alcohol-y sort of tinge kind of tones it down and makes it where it's not mild tasting, but it's not overwhelmingly sweet, I think is really the right way of putting it. And under that sort of, I guess, amaretto-esque flavor, which I'm still just kind of struggling to nail down what the flavor is. I'm trying to figure out some other way of describing it, but I can't. I'm not thinking of it. I'm not able to, nothing's coming to my head as of this moment in time. I think I might need another bite to really describe that. But under that sort of amaretto-esque flavor, there's then chocolate, I'd have to say. Dark chocolate. And I'd have to 100% say that the chocolate in this one, the amaretto flavored one, is much more of a dark chocolate than the peanut butter and chocolate truffles. Those were more of a milky chocolate, a sweeter chocolate. This is definitely a lot more dark, still sweet, still a little bit milky, but much more of a dark chocolate, a little bit more bitter for sure, and that bitterness is definitely helped by the amaretto as well. And then under that, there's, I'd have to say, a little bit of creamy sort of peanut butter, because this appears to be a sort of like peanut butter infused, or maybe it could be almond butter, I guess. It's sort of just like a nut butter sort of infused sort of thing. I was honestly expecting sort of like just like a gel. I was expecting to be like an alcohol gel filled thing. I've never really had like chocolate alcohol bonbons by any means, but that's kind of how I imagine them to be. Maybe I should try one of those for a future video, I ain't gonna lie. Let's take another bite though. That's good. But it's very different, and it's taken some getting used to. I'd have to say, the amaretto definitely has an alcohol-y flavor, but it's bringing in a sort of sweetness that's almost sort of, it's almost sort of, oh man, what's the right way of describing it? Trying to think of the right way to describe the sort of amaretto flavor. And the undertones I described, besides the amaretto flavor, those are still very much accurate in my opinion, but the tippy top flavor, the amaretto flavor itself, I'm just really struggling. Like, it's sort of that alcohol-y, sort of slightly sweet, slightly sort of alcohol-y bitter sort of flavor. Tastes good. There's no alcohol roughness or anything like that, which is really nice. It's very smooth overall. Not quite as smooth as the peanut butter chocolate truffles, or truffle that I had before this. But it's very good. And yeah, this is definitely very interesting. It's a very interesting. I think I can say with confidence, I've never quite had chocolate. I've never quite had a truffle like this one, like the peanut butter chocolate. Yeah, I've had stuff like that before. Reese's cups, Justin's peanut butter cups, stuff like that. I've had plenty of those before. It was really good, really high quality, but it was nothing super different. The amaretto one, on the other hand, that's a little bit different for sure. Very interesting, very interesting. I keep wanting to say it's almost cherry-like, but yeah, I want to say the most similar thing I've ever had to this would have to be like a chocolate-covered cherry or something like that kind of thing. I don't know, that could be my imagination. It's been years since I've had one of those as well. But I feel like, if anything, it's sort of like, does amaretto have sort of a cherry-like flavor? I don't know. I have no idea. I've never had it before. But at least this chocolate, I feel like it's kind of got a sort of cherry-like flavor too. Not like medicine cherry by any means, not like fake cherry. But a sort of alcohol-y, sort of cherry, sweet flavor with undertones of the sort of peanut butter or just nut butter and chocolate. And it tastes good. It's much more savory than sweet. It's still very sweet, but it's one of those things where you want to savor it. It's savory in that way. It's not savory in the, oh, it's like sweet and salty. It's savory in the, wow, I don't want to eat this too fast, because if I eat this too fast, it's going to be overwhelming and I'm not going to get my money's worth out of it. But it's also savory because it does have a little bit of bitterness to it. It's much more dark chocolatey than the last one. And it's very interesting as a whole. Yeah, overall, you know, I gotta admit, I really like both of the truffles that my mom was kind enough to give me for Christmas. I gotta admit, I am a fan of both. Which one do I prefer, though? Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm not gonna eat the other two right now. I'm gonna save those. My goal is to only eat 2 of them today, just to try each of the different flavors, because there's only 2 flavors in the box, so I tried both flavors. But what do I think overall about them? About both of them? Do I like both of them? Do I not like both of them? No, they're both fantastic. They're both great. Both fantastic, great quality, great tasting, lots of depth to the taste, good quality product. I gotta admit, I really like the truffles my mom was kind enough to gift me for Christmas. Thank you so much once again to my mom for making this video possible. I probably would have never bought these on my own, because I don't tend to do that. I don't tend to buy truffles by myself or for myself. I'll acknowledge it's not something I do. Overall, great quality, good stuff, really like it. I appreciate the gift, to say the least. I appreciated the gift. I would appreciate the gift even if I didn't like these, but I do like them, and I'm very thankful that I do. And what are my opinions on the 2 different flavors? Well, the peanut butter, it's like a higher quality Reese's Cup or Justin's, in my opinion. That's very much what it's like. It's like a higher quality version of a Reese's peanut butter cup, and in the best way possible, in my opinion. A little bit of dark chocolate going on, just a little bit more of an interesting flavor that's just less overwhelmingly sweet. Really is just like a higher quality, nicer version of a Reese's peanut butter cup. The amaretto was very interesting, and it was still kind of Reese's Cup-ish, except higher quality Reese's Cup-ish. But with a little bit of sort of an alcohol, sort of cherry, bitter flavor in there as well. And it was very interesting, and it took me a minute to get used to, but I like it as well. Overall, I'd have to say definitely a 4 out of 4 for the peanut butter chocolate and a 4 out of 4 for the amaretto. Both of them are getting 4 out of 4s. They're both fantastic, great quality stuff. I like them both. But if I had to choose one that I prefer over the other, it's honestly really hard, because I like them both, but they're both very different. Like, it's both chocolate, it's both truffles kind of thing. But they're both very different. But if I've got to choose one, you know, honestly, I think I'd probably choose the amaretto. I think that's probably the one I'd reach for first, because it's the one that I would eat slower. Because the flavor and the depth of flavor makes me want to eat it slower. And I like that about candy. I like candy that makes me want to eat slowly. I like food that makes me want to eat slowly, to appreciate what's put in front of me. To appreciate what's put in front of me, or what I made myself, kind of thing. And oh wow, the sky is beautiful. That's really nice. Certainly no complaints on my behalf about that. But I like things that make me appreciate the flavor. And I'd have to say the amaretto just does a slightly better job of that than the peanut butter. Still both very good. But when it comes to appreciating the flavor, I think the amaretto does a better job at that. So I'm going to have to go with the amaretto. Out of the 2 I tried, probably my favorite, yeah. But both of them are fantastic. Both of them are solid 4 out of 4s. I might have to see if I can try some more dairy-free truffles from this chocolate shop right here. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have ever tried any of the chocolates from that chocolate shop. And let me know in the comments down below if you guys ever tried peanut butter and chocolate or amaretto and chocolate truffles before. If you guys have, what do you guys think about them? Do you guys like them? Was what I described about right? And what do you guys think of amaretto as well? I need to try amaretto. Let me know in the comments down below just what you guys think of all that, along with just what you guys think of this video as well. I think that's pretty much all I had to say. Overall, my final thoughts are very positive. Yeah, certainly no complaints on my behalf. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. If you guys have enjoyed watching this video, of course, please make sure to like and subscribe for more content. I have my Instagram, my book, my merch, my P.O. box, and my other channels, all in the description down below. Go check them all out. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, y'all. Till the next one, stay safe in peace and have a great one. Yes, sir, and I'm saying.